no. Well, you guys warned me about the kits dropping in. Look at what happened to my Liger box. Oh no, oh no. So this is supposed to be the Takara Tomy Blade Liger Leon Tros version line type, part of their new 1/72nd scale Advanced Z line. And I just totally destroyed this box. Actually, just kidding. That was probably some terrible acting anyway, but yeah, the box was delivered like this. I don't know how. Here at USA Gundam Store, we got our delivery of this kit in recently, and one of them appears to have just been like stomped on intentionally, it looks like. But yeah, sometimes stuff gets delivered like this, and you know, there's not a whole lot that we can do about it. So I said, I'm gonna build that one, and hopefully nothing's broken inside. The box is obviously pretty well damaged, but everything inside hopefully will be okay. So let's go ahead and get into it for today's video. And if we do end up having to fix any broken parts or anything like that, I always kind of see that as a little bit of a bonus. So long as I can fix it, then it just gives me an opportunity to, you know, practice a skill of fixing broken parts. I mean, that's just as much of a skill as anything else, painting, panel lining, anything like that. You have to know how to fix or repair parts when they break, and it sucks that the box is busted up, but if any of the parts are also broken, it'll give us a chance to talk about how to fix them. But for now, let's go ahead and check out what's left of the box, and then we'll dive into the kit. So what we got here is a pretty big box, and I do have to say I really like the box art style for these new kits. Just really clean looking there with the ZOIDS logo, and then just this nice big image of the fully built, painted, and decaled kit there. And you can see we have like a matte finish for the box, with the image having a glossy finish to it. So these boxes look pretty nice, quite premium when not crushed, obviously. But here on the bottom of the box, we got kind of the same thing there. And again, had it not been destroyed, here's kind of what the back of the box looks like. It's just a different photo of the kit and like a different angle. And then you'll notice we have no actual illustrations of the model anywhere around on the box art. It's all just actual photos of the built and painted kit. You can see some more information there in Japanese. And then down here at the bottom, a look at the Liger frame with all the armor separated off of that. We are going to have a little 1/72nd scale pilot figure, it looks like, in there as well. And with that, let's go ahead and open this up. So it looks like we've got like a tray box inside here. It's going to be hard to get out because of the damage. I think I'm just going to opt to try and just slide everything out of here as much as I can. Anyway, we can start off first here taking a look at our instructions and sticker decals. It looks like what we got inside, and it would have been fantastic if these were actual water slide decals, but it looks like it's just sticker decals we're gonna have for this. But a lot of nice options here, mostly in white and then black and then a little bit of red there as well. And then for our instruction manual, just like with the box, is quite tall here. There on the back, you can see a little advertisement for a couple of the other models available in the line. I think that's the Blade Liger and the Genosaur, I believe. On the inside here, we're gonna look at what's included contents wise. You got these parts, the stickers, and then the actual runners over here. A few parts X'd out that are not going to be used. And then kind of interesting how the instructions here are just all in black and white, but then we have all these like blue highlighted sections, just kind of little notes there, kind of guides for how the parts fit together. I'm highlighting like which parts are actually like the connection joints and things like that. So pretty interesting. I have built one other Takara ZOIDS kit before, but it was a few years back and it was one of the old ones. So this is the first time I'm building one of these newer ones, so it'll be interesting. The very last page here has a couple more photos there in color with the decals, and I guess this is just like sort of supposed to be like our decal guide. Although you'll notice it's not necessarily saying where specifically decals are supposed to go. It's just a couple of reference photos so you can see like where these decals are, and then you can just opt to either kind of copy the decal scheme as you see it here, or you can just kind of like freestyle it on your own. Pulling out some of the runners here, you can see this one's pretty well bent. But as long as the runner frame is bent and the parts are not bent, then it should be okay. And the parts do seem to be okay. It looks like a couple of connections broke right there on this one. There was this smaller runner here that I pulled out, which was also pretty nastily bent there. And it does have this part missing off the runner, but it was still in the bag, so I do still have the part here, just this little bit. So far, nothing appears to be too broken or missing. There's another part just kind of fell off the runner there. And if this bent and funky runner is the worst of it, then I think we're totally fine. But anyway, and here we also got our 1/72 scale little pilot figure here. I don't think that this was on a runner, at least it came just kind of loose in the bag, so make sure you don't lose this. It appears that this was not on any kind of runner. And then some of our good old mechanical battery operated parts here, like what is going to be like the main core of the body. This one also appears to not have suffered any damage at all as far as I can tell. This is going to have a light there, it looks like, and then we do have a couple of other components here that kind of go along with that. These couple of dark gray sort of gunmetal parts that have the gold pre-painted on there for the blades, those look really cool. And then in this high gloss dark maroon color here, we have a few parts for what I guess is the display base for the kit, interestingly enough. Getting into the runners then proper, we've got Cap M runner here, which is going to be in gray for those classic ZOIDS caps. And then we've also got Cap S runner here for some of those there in black. A couple of other smaller runners here, runners B2 and F2 are small black runners that have a few bits of pre-painted metallic red on there, which looks really cool. So there's those parts there. And then this large black warped runner here that we were seeing a minute ago, this is actually runner A. You can see that there's a lot of nice detail on there, and so that does look pretty good. Runner B here is a little bit smaller runner, but just a couple of large pieces on there, also in black. For runner C here, we've got a runner in this dark maroon color. A couple pieces popped off the runner, but I do have them. They are here. They were just loose in the bag. Runner D is in a kind of molded gold. It's not super metallic looking necessarily, but this looks to be like all the parts for the claws. Runners F and G are a couple more runners here of parts in black, and again a couple pieces popped off the runner, but so long as I still have them, we're still all good. Runner H is some parts here in white. Those look nice. And then runners I and J are a couple of other large and slightly bent runners here of red parts for the kit. There you can see those. Runner K here is some parts in a gunmetal gray color. And lastly, a few more smaller runners here. Runner D2 is a runner that's all completely plated with this metallic gold. Looks like mostly for the teeth there. Those look nice. Runner E is some more parts here in that molded gold. Runner Cap L is some more cap parts here in gray. So it looks like we have Cap S, M, and L for small, medium, and large cap parts. And lastly, runner N here in clear orange is our parts there for the cockpit and canopy, it looks like. Really nice. All right, let's go ahead and get this built up, make sure that I don't have any missing pieces, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, and here is the kit all built up. First of all, it's quite large here, as you can see, so it's a good size being a 1/72 scale. It's the same as Kotobukiya's HMM series. And if you guys saw the live build of this, then you saw that it was certainly a very unique building process for me. It's definitely very different from anything that I normally build. And as I think I mentioned before, the only other time that I built a Takara kit was the old Berserk Fury kit, and this one definitely feels newer and nicer and a more modern kit compared to that one. But I will say it definitely still has that very nostalgic feeling to it, just to put it in a nice way. But let's go ahead and check it out here in some more detail. Okay, so first of all, just in terms of the accessories, as it typically goes with ZOIDS kits, we don't really have any accessories. We do have the display stand here in this high gloss, like dark maroon brown kind of color. I did go ahead and put the sticker on that. You can see it's sticking down like pretty well, but it is kind of coming up along the edges there, but makes for a nice little display stand. This just attaches up to the underside of the kit, and it's a good solid connection there. It clicks on. The only thing is that once the kit is on the display stand, the feet are just kind of hanging loose, and it just kind of looks more like it's swimming than it's standing. I haven't figured out, I don't think there's any way. It kind of seems like there's some kind of like lock in there in the feet, in the front feet sort of. I can kind of get them locked into place, but there's no way to lock these side toes. It's like the middle two toes are connected together, and then the side ones are just kind of like hanging loose. So anyway, it's a bit odd, but the display base is nice. Other than that, of course, we've got the stickers, which I did put a handful of the stickers on. And overall, I mean, the stickers work okay, like from a distance, and depending on your lighting, the stickers, you know, are not too noticeable, like the outline of the stickers, but certainly under like certain like light angles, you will see this big square outline around the stickers, and it is kind of distracting. So I mean, the stickers are kind of decent. You even have ones here that go on the gold blades, which are going to be really difficult to see on there. So I mean, you can definitely take your pick as far as where you want to put them, but that's it basically in terms of what we get included with the kit. You do have a small handful of leftover parts, but otherwise this is pretty much it. So let's just go ahead and talk about some of the other features here, like our opening cockpit. This will just open up here like that, and then inside we've got our seated pilot figure and this little computer screen that will fold up. There is a little sticker on that giving us some nice little like colorful detail on the screen there in front of the pilot. There is 2 seats in here, but there's only 1 pilot figure included, so you'll just have the one there. And the articulation in general, I mean, like there is different parts that move, like these parts will move a little bit, these parts here on the side will move a bit. The toes, as I mentioned, these side toes will move up and down. You can also kind of angle them out a bit more if you wanted to have them a bit more spread out. But most of the articulation is really just kind of meant to be part of the motorized function. So as you can see, like here for the legs, I mean, a lot of the kit's just gonna kind of hang loose when it's not like standing or walking, just because it's meant to be like motorized. So if you just like stand it down, it's solid enough, but it does feel like very loose in hand. Now these blade parts are not motorized, so these will fold down to the side. Of course, we can swing the blades around to the front like that. You can also extend this out like so. Alternatively, you can have this up over the shoulder, kind of meant to be used as like cannons there like that, so you have some functionality. That's kind of like the only like real articulated part of the kit really worth mentioning, which is not just like a motorized part. Even the tail here, you have very little articulation in the tail. You have a couple of points of articulation where you can get a little bit of bend. Basically, you can like slightly change the angle of that, but that's about it. And there's no side to side movement at all. It's just a little bit up and down. So it's gonna be very basic. And as you saw, that the box was damaged. All the parts were okay except for that main center kind of pre-built mechanical like motorized part. There was one part that was actually broken, which is the connection part basically for this arm. So I super glued that back on and it's working fine now. I did go ahead and put the 2 AAA batteries in. The switch is back here right at the butt, and then once you turn that on, it will walk like so. And I'll show you it walking in a minute, but just to show you that the light in the head is there, lit up orange, and you have in the center, there's a red LED light to, I guess, sort of look like the Zoid core inside there. And let's go ahead and see it in action here. And when I tried it out on the live stream, yeah, it kept falling over like that. But then when I tried it, there you go. It's a little wobbly. Kind of just have to make sure that nothing's really gonna be getting in the way. Let's try it here with the blades extended. I think that might actually could just kind of help to kind of balance it out a bit and not fall over. But you guys get the idea. And then as I was saying, when it's up on the base with the feet just hanging loose like that, it almost kind of looks like it's just swimming more so than it's actually walking. But it is pretty cool how like the frame built around the mechanical part there, it kind of moves and you can kind of see it shifting there in the center. It's kind of cool to see how that moves so that it's meant to look like it's walking in like a fairly natural way. I mean, as natural as it's going to look for something like this, which is basically just like a glorified mechanical toy. But I mean, it works pretty well. But anyway, guys, in conclusion, I guess I would just say that this doesn't necessarily seem like it's the type of kit that I would recommend for everyone. I think if someone asks me like, hey, what kind of ZOIDS kit would you recommend? I'm still going to recommend the HMM series ZOIDS kits from Kotobukiya, just because there's so much more complex, they're super detailed, they just have tons of parts, the posability is awesome, and they're just really impressive kits and a lot of fun to build. This one was fun enough to build, interesting, but even though visually it has a lot of detail there, the actual like complexity of the parts and like the part count is really quite low. So in terms of like the actual construction of the kit, I mean, like it's relatively basic, which again may make this a really great option for like a younger modeler. So like if you wanted to get one of these for your kids, or if you are a kid or something, for more of a younger builder or a less experienced builder, maybe the lower part count, the little bit simpler design for this one, you may find that to be a plus. One other thing that I will point out to you guys, for like the little like screw parts there, particularly on the limbs, in this case for this kit, those are actually like functional and necessary for holding the parts together, and you actually have to like screw them on, where like you pop those in and then rotate them 90 degrees to lock the parts into place, where like on the ZOIDS kits from Kotobukiya, they're just there as just like detail parts. In this case, they're actually necessary to hold the kit together. And I would definitely recommend using just like a small set of pliers or something like that, needle nose pliers or any kind of small pliers, just to make sure that you're rotating those tightly into place just to make sure the kit's not like falling apart on you. I just found that a little bit easier than trying to do it by hand. But anyway, with these kits, I think they do a really good job of keeping this very nostalgic feel of the like mechanical model kit toy kind of feeling of these, which may be great for if you wanted that nostalgia. Then they've also done a really good job of kind of modernizing the design, and just in terms of like the details and proportions, definitely has much more of like a modern appearance while still having that mechanical toy nostalgic feel to it. So certainly something very interesting. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Would you like to see more of these in the future? Is there any particular designs you would like to see out in this line in the future? Leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, guys, if you want to check out some of these ZOIDS kits for yourself, either the Takara releases or the Kotobukiya releases, we've got loads on the website there at usagundamstore.com. That's right down there in the video description below. Check out the website. And as always, guys, thanks so much for checking out the video here today. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you would like to leave a like while you're here and make sure that you're subscribed, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, hope y'all are having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.